गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे శుభ సంధ్య అందరికి. హలో
శుభ సంధ్య సార్.
యా సమ్ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది. ఎవరిదైనా అన్మ్యూట్ లో ఉందా? ఓకే. ఎవరున్నారు? ఓకే. నీరజ్, లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ కి వచ్చావా?
సార్ రాలేదు సార్, కానీ రికార్డింగ్ చూసాను నేను.
ఓకే. సో just a brief summary of the last class. We will go with the brief summary. Okay?
Yes, sir. Last class it was a discussion on row 3.
Very nice.
And in particular it was discussed with the case of Silesia.
Very nice.
And the case was about a youngster aged about 30.
Yeah.
Then he was complaining of the sexual intercourse trouble which he had.
Yeah. He got diabetes. He got diabetes.
He is a diabetic patient and he had that trouble also in the sexual sphere. So he was avoiding that aspect of his life, and he sent his wife away to her hometown. So that is where you explained about the psychotic miasm in the Silesia. What is psychotic miasm? The avoidance, the acceptance, the anticipation. There are 3 A's of the psychotic miasm. And then it went on with the Silesia, wherein the Silesia and Palladium were differentiated in the last class. Like Silesia is a person who would always bother about his image.
Very nice.
So in Silesia, it is always about the I. The person is always bothered about himself. What about my image? What would people think of me? And he...
So that thing haunts him. And all.
Yes, yes, sir. That haunts him everywhere he goes. Even to his home or to meet his friends or in his job place, anywhere. It is always about I. So, sir.
Proverb, we had spoken of one proverb. That
proverb.
all eyes are seeing on him only. Around in the atmosphere or in the environment, every eye is seeing him only. That's his delusion part.
Yes, sir. All eyes are on me.
Yeah, people are really, they're in their own world. Right? People doesn't care about others. It's a matter of thinking that someone caring for me or someone looking for me. It's a really a hypothetical or delusion part only, because every person in the world is busy in his own frame of mind, right? So he has very little time to observe other people, unless it is very close attachment in any relationship. Generally, these things are rare. But when the delusion part is more, people start thinking that every person is observing me or watching me or what he thinks of me. Actually, people don't find time to think of others. They are so much engaged with their own perception. Okay, that's a good thing, right?
Yes,
very
sir.
Nice.
Yeah. So he is always self-occupied. That can I say that? So he's self-occupied.
Exactly. That's the right word. No doubt about it. But it in a mineral way. That's the only part which differentiates silica from the other animal remedies or plant remedies. The experience is only of mineral, the structural part. Whereas the same thing, today we had a beautiful case of Pantheria tigris. I think Balaganesh is there, but I think he didn't came to that our class, but our session. So his own perception is also that every person should look at me, or is every person watching me or not. He plays cricket, he plays tennis, he plays shuttle, he plays each and every game. So after some time, when he gets the other person, when he defeats the other person, that's the exact word he used. నేను వాడిని ఓడించినప్పుడు ఇంకా ఆటలో మజా పోతుంది. సో హీ గోస్ టు అనదర్ స్పోర్ట్. That's the part. It's the same. The frontal issue is same because he worries about image, what people think of me. It is in the first part. But behind that background, the issue is that he is competitive. He fights for survival. He wants to defeat other person. And if he defeats the other person, he loses interest in that sport and he goes to another. So he plays all the sports in the entire sport world.
Oh.
So that is the background part. If we satisfy with the first part, if we take only first part. So I pursued him with a lot of questions. What is the need? Why do you play? What interests you in sport? No, sir, nothing. Yes, I play. Okay, it started like that. But when we moved together and the journey began and we moved together, then the levels, the idea of beating the other person, defeating the other person, and then losing the interest, all these things came out. So, the mammalian part, that he wants to be with his grandparents, but he dragged from the grandparents' home to the other town. That happens, I already told in the last class also. People are migrating from villages to towns in search of education. These things are frequently happening on our vicinity. People sell their lives, sell their land, etc. They do whatever they can do to come to the towns and get the children educated. How it helps, I don't know, but that's the thing happening in our vicinity. From all the villages, they sell their land, and they bring that all the children to the town. They reside in an apartment, and they think that they are educating their children, but I don't think so. It's in a wrong way, because you are completely nucleating the family, and this person also got affected like that. So he is with grandparents since that is the part that is the mammalian understanding, because they give him the protection, they feed him. That's what he said. వాళ్ళన్నీ పెడతారు, వాళ్ళన్నీ ఇస్తారు. So the mammalian love, care, affection with the same thing, the image of the what you say in silica, etc. But it is in an animal way, right? So in a silica, it is in a mineral way. The ability or inability, needing the person to complete himself. The you for the I is always with you, not versus you or sensitive you. It is with you. Need for completion. All the silica people very seldom say that they need other person, but if at all they say also, they say that this is the structural part. The value, the identity, the perseverance, that I am there, the 10th column, a little bit of success in life. This is all the success part. Every remedy has the success part and failure part. And when this silica tends to fall in the failure part, then all the materia medica part will come. Anxiety appear in public, anxiety appearing on stage, sweating, profuse perspiration in palms and soles, fear of examinations, fear of failure. These things come in the failure part of silica. So this is the compensated and the decompensated states of silica. So we have to differentiate. If we got the picture, so first few minutes, be ready what the patient is giving. Sometimes they begin with miasm itself. Sometimes they tend towards one kingdom. Sometimes the words itself give some verbs for our understanding, and we can continue with that verbs. So these things in the first part of the case definitely help you something. Don't miss them. And with the pause understanding, with giving sufficient pauses between the levels, understand at what level the person is. So all the newcomers, if you see the old videos, whatever we had gone through all these sessions, if you see the old videos, you see this part, this level understanding, where the person is. So that helps clinically in patients. Otherwise, we will get confused, we will get lost. So that is the understanding of silica structurally. The image part is of the mineral issue. Right? Okay, Neeraj, sorry for interrupting you, but just I want to once again make clear that the point that the image issue itself is not remedy. It is a door to the remedy. The door may lead to any way, but if you hunt for that image, then the structural, the perseverance, the 10th column understanding, everything will come if it is silica, and the failure part also. Right, Neeraj?
Yes, sir.
Hello? I hope you got it. Or
yes, sir. I got it, sir.
Okay. Okay, continue. Yeah.
So silica is all about the image, and usually Mineral Kingdom, they have the theme of the performance, right, sir? The Mineral Kingdom, they have the theme of performance.
Yeah.
And the structure. So similarly, silica has that, the performance pertaining to himself. Am I doing good? Is my image being retained by everybody in the same way? Am I getting better or not? So to retain that image, silica does everything. He does put all his efforts to just retain that image of himself so that he wouldn't lose his image in front of everyone. He would create a character of himself, like I am good. He wouldn't listen to anybody's opinions. He would create his own opinion that I am good, so I should keep up that good character wherever I go.
Very nice.
So this thing is very prominently seen in silica.
Yeah.
And the avoidance and acceptance is seen when there is a task right there in front of a silica.
Yeah.
So he would avoid it because what if I won't be able to take it? For example, if he has to deliver a speech, he would feel all anxious, and that symptoms of sweating in the palms and soles we see in silica just because of that anticipatory anxiety. Will I be able to do it? What if I don't do it? I'll be losing my image. And this is what silica always is concerned about, the I in silica. So we have two I's in silica, after S and after L. So I can say that I square, it is all about the image.
Yes. Exactly.
Pertaining to the performance. Yeah. So it went on with the case, sir, in the previous class. And the case was about...
Hello? 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 Hello, Neeraj? Yeah. We lost you for a minute. Okay.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, now you are audible, but we lost you for a couple of minutes.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I got a call, sir.
Okay.
So, yeah, sir. It was about the case, and the class concluded with the case, sir.
Yes. So we start with some doubts about silica, I think. Have you any doubts? Or
sir, I myself have a... Sir, can I?
Yeah, definitely.
The silica is concerned about himself, right? I mean, the image and everything. So how do we differentiate it with calcarea, wherein even calcarea has that feeling that everybody are observing me, the delusion that people are observing him?
Yes, exactly.
So how do we differentiate that with silica, sir?
calcarea carb, you are asking, right?
Yes, sir. Calcarea carb, yeah.
Yeah. So the issue for calcarea carb, the major difference between silica and calcarea carb is silica will be in 10th column. The main feeling is that the image issue, right? The row 3 issues, the identity, the image. So that is the issue for silica. For calcarea carb, the person wants some support. So even though at the external point, they may say that the delusion is watched or someone is observing them or something is doing for them. But the real thing for calcarea carb is all these will crop out because he needs some support. He is in second column. He does not, he cannot do individually anything. He wants to move out of that from the first to second column. That means he wants to be a little bit independent, tend to start or tend to search for financial security or home or security, wealth, all these things. He is really in a move to find these things. He knows that I should not be dependent, etc. But he is in such a state that for even minute obstacle or minute thing, he tends back to the thing again, which he is clinging. It is maybe father, mother, parents, or any relationship. He cannot be independent. So all the things of the delusion part that someone is watching is because of his incapacity, because of his need of support, because he wants to be independent, a little bit to move to second column, a little bit moving ahead, but he cannot. That is the idea for the calcarea. But for silica, the idea is already achieved that position. So his idea is to stand in that position, to be in that position. So to see, to behave like that. Here, some Srikanth has got already first mark in the class. Now he has to keep up that position, keep up that identity. The idea is that his image should not be lost. And the thing that haunts is because he achieved that position by some perseverance. So that is the part. So the U in the silica part will be little, unless it is calcarea silicata. Generally, the U cannot be found out in the silica part. It's very rare. But in calcarea, there will be everything. In every part, it will come out. That about you, what happens with you, that you comes out, that he needs support, he needs you for support, he needs you for financial stability, he needs you for some other thing. So in constantly, he talks about the you, or in other words, the relationship on which he is leaning for support. That is in the calcarea. So watching is a way of how my image will be in silica, and in a way of how much I have to seek back for the support in calcarea. It's a single point difference. Right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir,
Okay.
Another question, sir.
Right. You can ask. Question hour it is.
Yes, sir. So it's like, so in silica, I've also seen other points. It's not a question, actually. It's a point which I'd like to share with you all, that you were discussing about
that's more helpful for us. Definitely. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We were discussing about in the previous class that where is silica distributed in the body.
Yeah.
And we had our friends saying that it is found in the nails, in the teeth, in the bones. So I googled the same thing, sir, and it is also mentioned that silica is also found in the brain.
Very nice, very nice.
So yes, sir, that's a thing that I find. I mean, silica is found mainly in the brain and the nerve cells.
Very good. It's very helpful for us, right, to understand these things. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. That's a good thing you searched so
yes,
that
sir.
we enhanced our knowledge.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, somebody asked, who is that? Arvinda? Yeah. Yeah. Tell me, ma'am.
మెగ్నీషియం సిలికేట్ వాళ్ళ మెంటాలిటీ గురించి ఒకసారి చెప్తారా సార్? అంటే వాళ్ళు మెగ్నీషియం వచ్చి వాళ్ళకి డిపెండెన్సీ, వాళ్ళకి ఫ్యామిలీ ఉండాలి, అందరూ ఉండాలి. సిలికా వచ్చి ఇండిపెండెంట్ వాళ్ళు. అంటే ఎలా వాళ్ళు ఒక పేషెంట్ అలా వస్తే మనం ఎలా తెలుసుకోగలమని?
జనరల్ గా ఈ టైప్ ఆఫ్ సాల్ట్స్ లో అమ్మా వాట్ ఐ అబ్జర్వ్ ఈస్ సాల్ట్స్ లో మనకి పూర్తిగా భిన్నమైన కోణాలు కనపడతాయి. బికాస్ మనం ఆల్రెడీ స్టడీ చేసాం, మెగ్నీషియం ఈజ్ లైక్ ఏ చైల్డ్ హూ వాంట్స్ కేర్, లవ్, కేర్, నరిష్మెంట్ అన్నిటికీ ఆధారపడతారు. ప్రేమ కావాలని ఉంటుంది, ఎప్పుడు టచ్ కావాలని ఉంటుంది, ప్రతి దానికి మదర్ ఇష్యూ కావాలని ఉంటుంది, అన్నిటికీ మదర్ మీద ఆధారపడుతూ ఉంటారు. అలాగే కొంచెం ఏ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఆఫ్ ఇది వచ్చినా కూడా మన కేసెస్ లో కూడా చూసాను, నువ్వు అర్థం చేసుకునే ఉంటావు, నన్ను అర్థం చేసుకోవట్లేదు, నన్ను నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేసేస్తున్నారు, నన్ను ఫర్సేకెన్ చేసేస్తున్నారు అనేటువంటి ఫీలింగ్ వస్తూ ఉంటుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద మెగ్నీషియం పార్ట్. సో సిలికాకి వచ్చేసరికి ఆల్రెడీ మనం సిలికా చెప్పుకున్నాం, ఇట్ హ్యాస్ ద అదర్ పార్ట్. సిలికా ఇష్యూస్ అంతా కూడా యాంటిసిపేటరీ యాంగ్జైటీ, వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ టు ది ఇమేజ్. సో ఈ సాల్ట్స్ రెండు క్యానయాన్, ఒక క్యాటయాన్ ఒక యానయాన్ కలిసినప్పుడు జనరల్ గా ద డామినెంట్ అయాన్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దాని ఫీచర్స్ ఎక్కువగా కనబడతాయి. ఓకే, యా. సో ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు మెగ్నీషియం సల్ఫ్ అన్నావు, ఇందాక మనం మెగ్నీషియం సల్ఫ్ కేసు చూసాం, గుర్తుందా నీకు? ఒక అతను నాకు మెడిటేషన్ వచ్చు, నేను ఇప్పుడు ఇవన్నీ వదిలేశాను, అవన్నీ చెప్పుకుంటూ వచ్చాడు, గుర్తుందా కేసు మనం చూసాం? అందులో ఏంటి మనకి అసలు మెగ్నీషియం పార్ట్ చాలా తక్కువ చివర్లో వచ్చింది. ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ సల్ఫర్ డామినేట్స్ ద పర్సనాలిటీ. సల్ఫర్ ఇస్ ది యానయాన్ కదా. సో అలాగే సిలికా కూడా ఇట్స్ ఎన్ స్ట్రాంగ్ యానయాన్. సో సిలికా జనరల్ ఇన్ మెగ్నీషియం సిలికేటమ్ ఆల్సో సిలికా డామినేట్స్ ద పర్సనాలిటీ. సో ఈ పర్సన్ ఎక్కువగా ఆ ఇమేజ్ ఇష్యూస్, తర్వాత అవాయిడెన్స్, ఆ సైకోటిక్ మయాజ్మేటిక్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్, యాంటిసిపేటరీ యాంగ్జైటీ, ఇవన్నీ చెప్తాడు జనరల్ గా ఇన్ మెగ్నీషియం సిలికేటమ్ కేసు. కానీ వాట్స్ ద నీడ్ ఫర్ హిమ్ అనే దగ్గరికి వచ్చేసరికి అప్పుడు నీకు క్యాటయాన్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఎక్కడో చిన్న మూల ఇరుక్కుని ఉంటుంది. సార్ మా మదర్ అంటే నాకు ఇష్టం చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి, ఐ వాంట్ దట్ కేర్, లవ్, ఎఫెక్షన్. హౌ మచ్ పెర్సెవరెంట్ ఐ ఆర్, ఆర్ హౌ మచ్ పెర్సెవరెన్స్ ఐ హ్యావ్, హౌ మచ్ ఇష్యూస్ ఐ హ్యావ్, ఐ స్టిల్ వాంట్ మై మదర్. ఆ ఇష్యూ చివర్లోనో ఎక్కడో మూల నెక్కుంటుంది. బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్, నేను మొన్న కూడా చెప్పాను కదా, ఒకే రో నుంచి రెండు అయాన్స్ మీట్ అయ్యి ఒక సాల్ట్ ఫామ్ అయితే ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ డెడ్లీ కాంబినేషన్. బికాజ్ రెండిట్లోనూ ఒకటే ఇష్యూ రన్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఏది? లవ్, కేర్, ఎఫెక్షన్, ఐడెంటిటీ, రిలేషన్షిప్. ఈ థర్డ్ రో. సో థర్డ్ రో నుంచే రెండు అయాన్స్ వచ్చి ఒక సాల్ట్ ఫామ్ అయితే వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు డిఫరెన్షియేట్ వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అన్ ఎలిమెంట్ ఆర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ సాల్ట్. సో మెగ్నీషియం సిలికేటమ్ పార్ట్ లో సిలికా డామినేట్స్ ద పర్సనాలిటీ. You will see all the silica features, but in one part, ekkado okka chota, the need for this person to attach, the want of mother, a want of relationship, or want of love, want of care, that thing will hidden in some part. And you when ask what is the need for this person, for some ex person to do all these things. నేను కష్టపడి పైకి వచ్చానండి, బిఎస్సి చదివాను, బిఈడి చేశాను, ఎలాగైనా నిలదొక్కోవాలనుకున్నాను, రాశాను, గవర్నమెంట్ జాబ్ కొట్టాను. ఓకే, చాలా బాగుంది. ఎస్, నిజంగా ఐ ఫీల్ ఎ లిటిల్ బిట్. అందుకని నేను ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఆ కేర్ నిలబెట్టుకోవాలి, ఆ ఇమేజ్ నిలబెట్టుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే కష్టపడి బిఈడి రాసి గవర్నమెంట్ జాబ్ వచ్చి గవర్నమెంట్ టీచర్ అయ్యాను అంటే నలుగురు ఎలా చూస్తుంటారు? దే విల్ రెస్పెక్ట్ మీ, దే విల్ అడోర్ మీ. ఓకే, దెన్ యు కమ్ బ్యాక్. మీ చిన్నప్పటి విషయాలు చెప్పండి. చిన్నప్పుడు కొంచెం ఫాదర్ బాగా డ్రంకర్డ్ అయ్యి ఉండేవారండి, మదర్ నొచ్చి కొట్టేవారు. సో మదర్ మమ్మల్ని ఆవిడే కష్టపడి చదివించారు. ఆవిడ కొంచెం చదువుకుని మాకే అది చెప్పేవారు. ఆ రకంగా మమ్మల్ని పెంచారు. ఐ లవ్ మై మదర్, షీ యూజ్ ఇట్ టు ఫీడ్ మీ, షీ యూజ్ ఇట్ టు కేర్ ఫర్ మీ. మా ఫాదర్ నుంచి నన్ను అలా ఆ రకంగా ఇది చేసేవారు. అలా ఉన్నా కూడా షీ ఈజ్ అన్ రోల్ మోడల్ ఫర్ మీ. And whenever I feel that my mother leaves me, even after marriage, I could not do that. I am so attached. So the entire need of developing or doing BEd or doing something, a government teacher, etc., came from an element that her mother should look after her. This thing will be in background. Mother should look after me. Mother should care me. I want to do something to mother. I want to do all these things.
That means వాళ్ళు చెప్తారా సార్ డైరెక్ట్ గా?
ఎందుకు చెప్పరు?
అంటే నేను ఇవన్నీ చేసింది మా మదర్ ని హ్యాపీగా ఉంచడానికి అన్న మాట వస్తుంది కదా సార్ డెఫినెట్ వీళ్ళలో?
డెఫినెట్ గా వస్తుంది. బట్ అక్కడ కూడా బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ లో ఏంటి ఉన్నది అనేది అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. ఈజ్ ఇట్ అండ్ మినరల్ ఇష్యూ మదర్ తో, ఆర్ ఈజ్ ఇట్ అండ్ ఆ లాక్ డెల్ఫినం కేసులో మనం చూసాం. అక్కడ ఏం చెప్పింది ఆ అమ్మాయి ఆ రోజు లాక్ డెల్ఫినం కేసులో? కొడుకు చాలా ప్రాబ్లమేటిక్ గా ఉంటాడు, చాలా రెస్ట్లెస్ గా ఉంటాడు, చాలా హైపర్ యాక్టివ్ గా ఉంటాడు, అటు ఇటు తిరుగుతాడు, అస్సలు కుదురుండడు. ఓకే, వాట్స్ యువర్ హిస్టరీ ఇన్ ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ? వాట్స్ ద ఇష్యూ ఇన్ ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ? సార్ నేను కష్టపడి చదువుకునేవానండి, నేను హాస్టల్లో జాయిన్ చేశారు నన్ను, నాకు హాస్టల్లో ఉండడం బాగుండేది, ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉండేవారు, అందరూ చక్కగా కలిసి ఆడుకునేవాళ్ళం, చక్కగా కలిసి పాడుకునేవాళ్ళం. ఓకే, ఎందుకు జాయిన్ చేశారు? సో మేము విలేజ్ లో ఉంటామండి, ట్యూషన్స్ కి వెళ్ళడం పెట్టడం అది కుదరదు కదా. ఏమవుతుంది ట్యూషన్స్ పెడితే? అది విలేజెస్ లో ట్యూషన్స్ ఉండవు కదా సార్, ఒకవేళ ఉన్నా కూడా దారిలో ఎవరు. సో ఆల్ ద పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ నీడ్ అక్కడ నీకు గుర్తుంటే, అక్కడ ఆ పాయింట్ లో లవ్ కేర్ కాదు, షీ వాంట్స్ ప్రొటెక్షన్. వై షీ జాయిన్డ్ ఆర్ ప్రిపేర్డ్ ఫర్ హాస్టల్? నేనే అన్నానండి హాస్టల్కి వెళ్ళిపోతాను. ఎందుకు? బికాజ్ ఐ ఫీల్ దట్ సమ్వన్ మే డూ సంథింగ్ మీ ఆన్ రోడ్స్ ఇన్ విలేజెస్ బాగుండవండి, పల్లెటూళ్ళు బాగుండవు, రోడ్డు మీద వెళ్తూ ఉంటాం, చీకటి పడుతుంది, ఎవరైనా ఏదైనా చేస్తే. సో ఈ బాధ అంతా ఎందుకు అని నేనే హాస్టల్కి వెళ్ళిపోతాను. షీఈ్ అ సింగిల్ చైల్డ్ ఫర్ పేరెంట్స్. So the entire understanding is not about love care. Someone may do something, so I needs that protection. That is the animal part. Right?
Yeah, okay.
So in any case, we never leave the question. Exactly know what's the need for the person to do all these things. So yesterday or day before, I took a case. So the entire understanding of this person is she paints, she loves music, she do everything in the creative art, in the creative part. She literally what you say aristocrates the children to do something, to be engineer, to be doctor, for education, for skill, for academic education. సార్ నేను ఒప్పుకోను సార్, కష్టపడి చదువుతాను, నేను కష్టపడి చదివి నా ఉద్యోగం సంపాదించుకున్నాను, నా పిల్లలు కూడా కష్టపడాలి, వాళ్ళని ఈ లెవెల్లో చూడాలనుకున్నాను. ఓకే, సో ఐ ఎంక్వైర్డ్ ఫస్ట్ ద లెవెల్. వాట్ డూ యూ గెయిన్ బై లెవెల్? వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ విత్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ లెవెల్? వాట్స్ హై స్టాండర్డ్ ఫర్ యూ? What happens to you if you go to high standard? What happens to you if your children does not go to high standard? I inquired that part entirely first. Then I came back. What's the need to do all these things? Then the other part came. చిన్నప్పుడు మా నాన్న తాగుబోతండి, అస్తమాను కొట్టేవారు మా అమ్మగారిని. మా అమ్మ నాన్న they at the age of 60 they got separated. You know that? At the age of 60, the parents got separated. What a pathetic situation. So that part is there in history. So మా అమ్మ కష్టపడకూడదు, మా నాన్న అలాంటి వాడైనా మా అమ్మ మమ్మల్ని ఎప్పుడూ ఇబ్బంది పెట్టలేదు. అవన్నీ తట్టుకుని, మై మదర్ ఈజ్ మై రోల్ మోడల్. ఆవిడే నాకు అన్ని నేర్పించింది. అలాంటి మొగుడు నాకు వస్తే కత్తి తీసుకు పొడి చంపేసేవాడిని. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద థింగ్స్ tending towards animal rape. This is the real sensation coming back. By God's grace నాకు చాలా మంచి హస్బెండ్ వచ్చారు, చాలా సపోర్టివ్ హస్బెండ్ వచ్చారు. But if my father like person would have come in my life, I would have killed with a knife. No hesitation in doing that. So definitely they will tell all these things, but you have to know why, what to ask, when to ask, and why to ask. Keep pauses. Learn to respect the other person. That is the way to build a relationship, a bridge between you and the patient. Then you can ask each and everything they will tell you. So never show your ego to the person. So we are always learners. So we should learn. We should have that attitude in every point of view, in every case, whatever happens, in case also, in life also, there is only one part, that is learning. So whenever we tend to have that part that I got something, or I got some degree, or I got some other thing, then the idea of learning stops and the ego crops out. And it makes parda. It creates so much havoc in your brain that you cannot learn something. You always want to show something. There develops some competitive spirit. So you stop learning and all your ideals with regarding to life demolished. So these things will happen if you stop learning in any aspect. So if you continue that learning part, you know something. Really, Neeraj today told we don't know that part, that silica is one of the essential part in brain. So these are the things we can learn mutually. That is the way we develop actually. So the understanding of when, why, all these W's, what Shekhar sir says, in the case taking will guide us in a proper way. Then the idea of silica, why this person needs that support, in what way he needs the support. These things will come into the picture. ఇలా ఎప్పుడైతే మనం ఎంక్వైర్ చేసుకుంటామో we will get a total picture. Otherwise, what our idea is to put this person into pieces and see under rubric. Instead of construction, we are going into destruction. So we have to construct a total portrait of the whole disease, what Hahnemann said. But what we are doing is, we are taking some part, that is also not total part, we are taking some part, breaking it into pieces, fit into some rubrics, and I get the idea from some repertories. So we are traveling in the opposite way. So unless and otherwise we build the total portrait of the whole disease in a constructive way, we cannot get the true picture of the disease, and we cannot get the totality of the patient. We cannot make any analysis or anything unless we get the total picture. Rather, we are taking the case as a part, not at all making the case into total. We are seeing only a part, making that part into some other parts, and throwing that some other parts into some other rubrics which we think that fit into the case, and hunting for a remedy, so that the total recipe will get spoiled. So learn to take the case deep. So some remedies definitely help in acute conditions. That's where they are. We see a lot of cases. Acute conditions definitely be helped by the single remedies, by some minute remedies. But in chronic diseases, they never help unless we get the case into deep. That is the way how Dhoni plays. If we see cricket, anybody interested in cricket, that is the way how Dhoni plays. He takes the game into deep, does not lose the wicket, and he almost succeeds 95%. 6 balls 20, 6 balls 15, 6 balls 25, that's what we have. So that narrowing down or taking the game deep or taking the case deep will get the picture of whole disease. So that will help us immensely. So what's that question? I didn't got that question. Hello? Somebody asked some question. Yeah, definitely that kill issue will be always will be seen in all kingdoms, no doubt about it. But where she used, and is that relevant to the case? Because I am not at all asking any question to her. She is getting back into her childhood. What had happened to తనకి తెలిసిందంతా తన చిన్నతనంలో చెప్పుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతోంది. So the aspect where the animal crops out is in sudden instinctive way. It's not in a knowledgeable way. So నేను ఏదైనా క్వశ్చన్ అడిగి ఆ క్వశ్చన్ కి ఆన్సర్ చెప్తూ so that it can be anything. But when she is telling about her life and with the energy she speaks that point. So my father tortured my mother like anything. So we are not at all asking any questions there. She is in completely matched with your wavelength. She is with your frequency. She is in par with you. So while telling all this, so that thing, అయ్యో బాబోయ్ అసలు భరించలేవండి. నాకు అలాంటి మొగుడుంటే మాత్రం చంపేసేవాడు, ఒక్క దెబ్బ కత్తితో పొడిచి చంపేసేవాడిని అక్కడ, అలాంటి టార్చర్. సో ద ఐడియా విత్ such energy at such point, at such juncture, without asking a relevant question or something cropping out from her own subconscious mind or language which is hidden in her, that definitely denotes the animal. It's not the words, it's the words where they are coming, when they are coming, and with what energy they are coming. These are more understandable. These are more important than the mere words. Mere words we can see in any kingdom, but at that time, that at which point of time in the case they are coming out, is it coming, are they coming with relevant to a question, are they coming springing out from the energy or springing out from the vital force? Yeah, with hand gesture, కత్తితో పొడిచేసేవాడు, that hand gesture, right? Okay. Any other questions with regarding to the? No questions? Shall we proceed further? Hello?
హలో అన్నయ్య,
చెప్పమ్మా, వాద్దాం.
అన్నయ్య, అది కిల్లింగ్ ఇష్యూ అనేది 3 kingdoms లో కూడా ఉంటుంది అన్నారు కదా. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇది యానిమల్ కింగ్డమ్ లో చెప్పారు, మిగిలిన 2 kingdoms లో ఎలా ఉంటుంది?
సో ఎట్ ఎమోషనల్ పార్ట్ ఆర్ మామూలుగా జనరల్లీ at story part or emotional part, people may speak lot of things కదా. మామూలుగా కథలుగా చెప్తున్నప్పుడు స్టోరీ పార్ట్ లో కోపం వస్తే వాడు కొట్టాలనిపిస్తుంది, ఒక పోటు చేయాలనిపిస్తుంది. ఇట్స్ ఏ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఆఫ్ సూపర్ఫిషియల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ కదా. యా, సో డెఫినెట్ గా at a deeper levels something comes from the subconscious mind. ఎందుకంటే అక్కడ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ కూడా ఏం చెప్తోంది ఆవిడ, మా మదర్ చాలా ఇబ్బంది పడ్డారు. నేను ఏమడిగాను, అసలు మీరు ఎందుకు ఇంత కష్టపడ్డారు, ఎందుకు మీ పిల్లల్ని అంతలా చదివించాలనుకుంటున్నారు, ఎందుకు వాళ్ళని హై స్టాండర్డ్స్ లో చూడాలనుకుంటున్నారు, వాట్స్ ద నీడ్ ఇన్ ఇట్ కదా. అదే అడిగారు మీరు యాక్చువల్ గా. అంటే దీనికి నా చిన్నతనానికి వెళ్ళాలి. సో నౌ షీఈస్ గెటింగ్ బ్యాక్ ఇన్ టు ద చైల్డ్హుడ్ ఇష్యూస్. రైట్ కదా. ఎప్పుడో చిన్నప్పటి రోజుల్లోకి వెళ్తోంది, షీ లాస్ట్ కాంటాక్ట్ విత్ ద ఐ, షీఈస్ విజువలైజింగ్ దట్ థింగ్. అప్పుడు సో ఆ పార్ట్ లో దీస్ థింగ్స్ కమ్, అక్కడ వస్తుంది అది. సో దట్ ఈస్ డెఫినెట్లీ సమ్ ఇష్యూ కమింగ్ అవుట్ కదా. సో మనం ఏం క్వశ్చన్ అడగలేదు.
అంటే ఈ కిల్లింగ్ ఇష్యూ అనేది డీపర్ లెవెల్స్ లో వస్తే యానిమల్, ఓన్లీ స్టోరీ పార్ట్ లో వచ్చినంత మాత్రాన
మిగతా పార్ట్ కూడా చూడాలి. అదొక్క పార్ట్ కాదు, దట్ దట్ గివ్స్ అస్ సంథింగ్. సో షీఈ్ నాట్ ద పర్సన్ హూమ్ షీ ఈజ్ అపియరింగ్ కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఈ క్రియేటివ్ గా చేస్తుంది, ఆ పెయింట్ వేస్తుంది, మ్యూజిక్ పాడుతుంది, డాన్స్ చేస్తుంది, బోల్డ్ అంతా వర్క్ చేస్తుంది, ఇంట్లో అంతా జాబ్ చేస్తుంది, పిల్లల్ని చదివిస్తుంది, ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా మన బ్యాచ్ అంతా, రిపటరీ బ్యాచ్ అంతా తీసుకుంటే ఏమంటారు, రెస్ట్లెస్నెస్, హైపర్ యాక్టివిటీ, ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి యాక్చువల్ గా. బట్ వాట్స్ ద నీడ్ టు డూ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్? అది ఈ కేసులో వెరిఫై అవ్వలేదు కదా. So I want to know the cause for which he is doing all these things. So అప్పుడు మనం అప్పుడు అడిగాం, ఓకే, అప్పుడు కూడా చాలా స్లోగా, డెడ్ స్లో అయిపోవాలి కేసులో. ఓకేనమ్మా, కానీ ఎందుకు అలాగా, ఎందుకు మీ పిల్లల్ని మీరు హై స్టాండర్డ్ లో చూడాలనుకో, అది కూడా జస్ట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఎన్ ఈజీ ఇష్యూ. 1-2 వాక్యాల్లో ఏం వచ్చేది కదా. వీ హ్యావ్ టు కీప్ ఆన్ క్వశ్చనింగ్ అట్లీస్ట్ 4 or 5 times. మళ్ళీ ఓ స్టోరీ వస్తుంది. అంటే ఆ రోజుల్లో మేము వరంగల్లో ఉండేవాళ్ళం అండి, వరంగల్లో సమ్ స్టోరీ కమ్స్. ఆ తర్వాత మేము ఎక్కడ సత్తుపల్లి వచ్చాం, సత్తుపల్లి నుంచి నేను గుడివాడ తిరిగేదాన్ని, ఏదేదో స్టోరీస్. ఓకే, అదంతా ఓకే, అదంతా అర్థమైందమ్మా. బట్ ఎందుకు మీరు మీ వాళ్ళ పిల్లల్ని హై స్టాండర్డ్ లో చూడాలనుకున్నారు? వీ డు నాట్ లీవ్ దట్ క్వశ్చన్, లెట్ హెర్ గో ఇన్ ఎనీ వే. We want to know the exact reason for which she is doing all these things. So the idea, that's what the entire case understanding. So we get something out of box here. That అలాంటి భర్త నాకు వస్తే మాత్రం ఒక్క పోటుతో పొడిచేద్దానండి, నేను కత్తితో పొడిచేద్దాను, నేను భరించలేను, మా అమ్మ కాబట్టి భరించేది. దిస్ ఈస్ ద థింగ్ డస్ నాట్ కమ్ ఆఫెన్. వీ డిడెంట్ ఆస్క్ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్. షీ ఈజ్ ఇన్ పార్ విత్ యూ. దట్ ఎనర్జీ విత్ జెస్చర్స్ డెఫినెట్లీ గివ్స్ యూ సంథింగ్. సో ఎస్, నక్సవంకలో కూడా కోపం ఉంటుంది. అట్ ఎమోషనల్ లెవెల్ దే స్పీక్ ఆఫ్ దట్ కిల్లింగ్ ఇష్యూ. ఆర్ అట్ కోపంలో కొట్టాలనిపిస్తుంది, చంపాలనిపిస్తుంది అనొచ్చు. దట్స్ మోర్ ఎమోషనల్ లెవెల్. అట్ లెవెల్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు సీ ద లెవెల్ వేర్ ద పర్సన్ ఈజ్ స్పీకింగ్. ఈజ్ ఇన్ కంప్లీట్లీ సింక్ విత్ అస్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఫర్ దిస్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు గెట్ ద కేస్ డీప్. అదే నేను ఇందాక చెప్పాను, టేక్ ద game deep. That is the ideology of MS Dhoni. Why so many people all over world likes him? The entire idea is that he knows the process. What to do he knows. He knows the complete idea about the game, and we also should know the complete idea of the person, of the patient. So what's the need we have to search? What's the need for this person to do all these things? Like all other, these things should fit in the case, should fit in the entire case. So any quality if we are getting, don't satisfy with what we get. Ask what's the reason behind it. ఎందుకు అలా చేస్తున్నారు? It is at best the person can give the complete picture of it. Nobody can tell about those things. అదే ఇందాక నేను నీరజ్తో కూడా చెప్పిన కేసులో, నేను అన్ని గేమ్లు ఆడతాను, మొత్తం అన్ని గేమ్లు, కానీ ఎప్పుడు whenever I think that this person goes in front of me, పట్టుదలగా ఆడి వాడిని ఓడిస్తాను, ఇంకా ఆ గేమ్ లో మజా పోతుంది నాకు. He lost all the interest in the game when he wins. and he wants to play some other game. Is it a thing you get regularly? How many patients will tell you like that? What interests you in game? Nothing interests me. Winning interests me. Persevering with some attitude, defeating that person, that interests. Then I will lose the interest in that game. I will pick another game. How many patients will tell you like that? And to get that, what's your question to be asked? That's the best part. It is easy to tell or easy to narrate or easy to type some words, but it's very difficult in a case to get deep. How you pave your way to get into the person's life. ఎలా మార్గం వేసుకుంటావు రోగిలోకి వెళ్ళడానికి, రోగి తాలూకు టోటల్ పిక్చర్ నీకు తెలియటానికి. దట్స్ ద ఆర్ట్. అది సో అది ఎలా వస్తుందంటే బై కాన్స్టెంట్లీ లుకింగ్ ఎట్ ఎ పర్సన్ హూ ఈస్ డూయింగ్ ద కేస్. ఎవరైతే కేసు తీసుకుంటున్నారో ఆ కేసు తీసుకుంటున్న వాళ్ళని కాన్స్టెంట్ గా చూస్తూ ఉండడం వల్ల మాత్రమే మనం ఆ మార్గం నేర్చుకుంటాం. అదర్వైజ్ ఏమవుతుందంటే ఎట్ ఎవ్రీ పాయింట్ ఆర్ ఎవ్రీ జంక్చర్ వీ వాంట్ టు షో సమ్ నాలెడ్జ్. నాకింత తెలుసు అనేది మనకి చెప్పాలనిపిస్తుంది. దట్స్ ద రాంగ్ వే. Because with our knowledge, we limit ourselves. That's the biggest mistake in homeopathy. So, tend to be unprejudiced. That's the first point we have to develop in our lives. In each and every, not only in homeopathy, in all the aspects of life, be unprejudiced. That's the major part. That's the major hurdle also. So that's pave the way, create your own atmosphere, your own technique, your own ability, your own artistic way to get into the patient. Take the person deep. Then get the total picture of disease. Then you can see the remedy. It's not at all important. Remedy will come itself. Right? Okay, Maheshwari. Yes, Neeraj. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah, Neeraj, cheppu.
Sir, we say that. So, can we say that Cilicia is a self-made person?
Definitely. Actually, in Mineral Kingdom, Sir said that, kada. ఆ రోజు సార్ చెప్పారు కదా, he built himself. There will be సార్ క్లినికల్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ లో అది కూడా చెప్పారు మనకి. జనరల్లీ he will be from unsupportive parents. He builds himself. సార్ ఆ పాయింట్ చెప్పారు. ఇట్స్ క్లినికల్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ బట్ డెఫినెట్లీ హెల్ప్ కదా.
Yes, sir. Sir, another question.
Very good.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. We say that, and also we read in the books that Aurum is a duty-bound person and Cilicia is a image-bound person. He's an image-bound person. So, how do we differentiate that duty and image, sir?
Very good question. That can be explained only when we get to Aurum. Because when you see the case, how the person speaks, I have video cases for you. Don't worry. So then you can differentiate clearly what's the identity part and what's the duty part. So one more thing is, what I observed is how peculiar this person. That's also we have to develop to see that part also. నీకు అది మొన్నసారి చెప్పాను కదా, అతను ఒక తాపీ మేస్త్రి, రైట్? అతనికి ఫిట్స్ ఉన్నాయి పాపం, చాలా టెన్షన్, చాలా కంగారు, ఆందోళన ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి యాజ్ సిలికా. సో అందరు ఏమనుకుంటారు, అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. బట్ ఇప్పుడు అతని మెయిన్ పార్ట్ ఏంటంటే, మీకు ఈ ఫిట్స్ అన్ని డెవలప్ అయ్యి బ్రెయిన్ డిసీజ్ డెవలప్ అవడం, ఇవన్నీ ముందు ఏం జరిగింది అంటే, ద పర్సన్ స్పోక్ ఆఫ్ హిజ్ బ్రదర్ అండ్ హిజ్ వైఫ్. అంటే అన్నగారు వదిన దెబ్బలాడుకుంటారు, రైట్? వాళ్ళిద్దరికి డిస్ప్యూట్స్. అన్న తాగొస్తాడు, వదిన్ని కొడతాడు, పిల్లలు భయపడతారు. అండ్ హీఈస్ వర్రీయింగ్ అబౌట్ దట్ బ్రదర్ అండ్ హిజ్ వైఫ్ అండ్ హిజ్ ఫ్యామిలీ. At the age of 25 to 30, he built a house for his family. Is it peculiar or is it common?
Very peculiar, sir.
And how poor he is. He is a daily labor doing something, but he built house and he says that it is his duty. నా తల్లిదండ్రులు చూసుకోట తాత మా అమ్మ అందరినీ చూసుకుంటాడు అతనే. వీళ్ళు ఎలా ఉంటారు? దట్స్ ఎ డ్యూటీ బౌండెడ్ పర్సన్. ఆల్దో దేర్ ఇస్ సమ్ ఇమేజ్ స్పాట్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్రంట్, బట్ వాట్స్ ద యాక్ట్ బిహైండ్? వాట్స్ ద నీడ్ ఫర్ ఇట్ బిహైండ్? ఐ ఆమ్ దేర్ ఫర్ యూ, ఇట్స్ నాట్ యూ ఆర్ దేర్ ఫర్ మీ కదా. నా గురించి ఎవరు చూస్తారు? నేను అన్నం తిన్నానని అడుగుతారా? ఎవరు అడగట్లేదు. నేను ఎంత చేస్తున్నా అనట్లేదు, నేనున్నాను మీకోసం అంటున్నాడు. ఈజ్ ఇట్ the other part of the case kada? And how peculiar for a daily labor to build a house for his own family at the age of 30. So see some peculiarity. Is it common theme or is it some peculiarity? That's also we have to see. ఈ అంతా చెప్పాను కదా, ఒక ఆర్ట్. దాంట్లో తపస్సు చేసేవాడికి ఆ మజా ఉంటుంది.
నిజమే సార్.
ఇప్పుడు ఏదో రెమెడీ ఇచ్చేసామంటే పెద్ద అందులో మనం ఏదో రిపర్టరీ చూసి ఏదో ఒక రెమెడీ వేస్తా, ఎంతో కొంత ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ వస్తుంది, లెట్ us satisfy ourselves. That is different. But the real quest begins and there is no need for our glamour to show in that.
Very true,
sir. Because we like, there is nothing new to show because we knew ourselves. By this quest, actually we knew our own self, kada?
Sir.
So at that part, when I taking the case, at first I am literally a little bit worried to take the case because he is getting fits so frequently, and every time he gets fits, he gets convulsions, there is dislocation of shoulder joint. So again in the fits, the shoulders are dislocating. Somebody mute that person. Yeah. So what happens is,
yes sir.
So what happens is, it is very peculiar for a daily labor at age of 30 to worry about his brother and his wife and their children. బాబా పిల్లలకి ఏమవుతుందండి, చిన్న పిల్లలు, అమ్మ వదిన అన్నయ్య విడిపోతే. సో ఆల్ దిస్ పర్సన్ ఈస్ థింకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద ఫ్యామిలీ. And in that also, he is not a Cali type of family that who family should see me, family persons should feel me or should support me. That's not he is telling. He is telling that I should support them. I am more worried of them. How peculiar these things. So this is the ultimate thing. So ultimate quest begins when we see the peculiarity of the case. సో ఇన్ ఎనీ కేస్, నువ్వు ఆ ముస్లిం కేసు చెప్పు, గుర్తుందా? అతను ఎవరు కబడ్డీ ఏదో ఆడతాడు కదా, కబడ్డీ కాదు కరాటే, ఆటో డ్రైవర్.
అవును సార్.
సో హౌ బ్యూటిఫుల్ దట్ కేస్. ఇట్స్ అ వెరీ పెక్యూలియర్ థింగ్ కదా. ఒక ఆటో డ్రైవర్ సరదాగా కరాటే ఆడతాడు. అండ్ వెన్ at 11th hour when it happened so many days ago, నువ్వు ఆ కేసు చెప్పి నాకు, బట్ స్టిల్ ఐ రిమెంబర్. ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ you can say that's one type of madness.
Interest, passion.
No, you can call it as madness. Because for other things, the other persons, it shows as some insanity. So that's the idea behind. So why you develop all these things? Because the ultimate intent is to understand that person. So
yes, sir.
It's not at all a question you give some remedy for renal stones or some remedy for stomach ulcers or some remedy for convulsions, which remedy you gave. No. But what you understood about that person, that's the real beauty of the case. What's the need for this person to do all these type of activities which are shown in the external part? So the real hunt begins when we explore those things which are hidden in the case instead of fitting things which we get. We get some things, fit in the rubrics, type that, get the remedy. That's one part. But what these qualities are giving, who is this person behind all these things? What is his real intent in doing all these things? That quest you should develop, and the manner you go to inquire all these things, that's the beauty part. When you ask with your ego, ఎందుకండి ఇలా డెవలప్ చేశారు మీరు, ఎందుకు ఇలాంటి ఇంటెన్షన్ వచ్చింది మీకు? No. They are not at all giving you anything with such intention. You should, when you want to go deep, learn to be calm, composed. That's what Dhoni, that exactly today picture, almost all picture is going towards him only. The calm, the composure, the trust, the persistence in process. No need to hurry. We know that game will be ours when we get to depth. Just make the way, pave the way, do the job artistically. That is the beauty.
It all comes back to Shekhar sir's quote, respond but not react.
Yes, exactly. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Gyan Sekar. ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా? ముందుకెళ్ళొచ్చా? గౌతమ్, జాహ్నవి, మహేశ్వరి, శేషు, కార్తీక, కీర్తన, so okay, let us go with the next remedy of, that is phosphorus. So one of the beauty of phosphorus, a beautiful remedy in the materia medica. So to get an idea of phosphorus, the best book up to now on face of earth is George Vitolka's Essence of Materia Medica. That is the best book where we get the real picture of phosphorus. So the idea of phosphorus is, so it is a self-illuminating element. So out of 20 members in a class, he stood separately. Such is the illumination power of phosphorus. You know that person. Out of 2,000 people in the college, when you go to college and ask some ex-person, some Gautam, then everybody in the college say Gautam is there in that veranda. So the idea of phosphorus is, they are so enchanting personalities, so permeating personalities. So these are the phosphorus qualities. Yeah, diffusive, very nice. These are diffusive people, very nice. So there is a little bit of some attraction in the phosphorus, more friends. But the idea to do all these things for phosphorus is, that's what we are discussing up to now, is in the background they feel they are unloved, uncared, and they are not at all getting any affectionate. No, not vivacious. That's a different point. No, these are not the vivacious people. So the idea of not loved, not cared, not permeate, not affect, not getting affection is the background point in phosphorus, from which they move to diffuse. So the entire idea in the backdrop, why they are sympathetic to others, why they are care others, why they remember everyone's birthday, why they wish, Why they want people? Why they want friendship? Why they want friends? Why they want every person in the life? Why they want to love? Is they feel unloved. They feel unwanted. They feel uncared. They feel not at all somebody doing or get somebody not giving affection to them, and it literally starts from the home itself. So entire part of the phosphorus understanding is at the age of adolescence, they have many friends because they seek that love, care and affection in the friends. And one more thing is, they are not sympathetic to each and every person. These are sympathetic to persons only to those people whom they think they are loved, whom they think they are cared, whom they think they are. This is the diseased part actually, because there is no point if we show love we are diseased. That's not a point here. But they show love, care, affection only to those people whom they feel they are recognized. కాబట్టి నన్ను పట్టించుకునే వాళ్ళకి మాత్రమే నేను ప్రేమను అందిస్తాను, నాట్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ పర్సన్. నన్ను ఎవరైతే దగ్గరగా తీసుకుంటా, యా వెరీ గుడ్, సెల్ఫిష్ వే ఆఫ్ సే, బట్ that right point, it's not completely selfish, because these people for whom they love, they are not at all selfish. And phosphorus people, you know, they do so many things for their friends. They spend money, they spend their own energy, and sometimes they give life also for these, for only those people whom they feel that by that person is recognizing me, that person is loving me, that person is caring me. For such people only he will do all these things. That is the idea for phosphorus. And these people are more like plant remedies. They have so much sensitivity, so much reactivity. He is sensitive to all emotions. He cries by seeing cinema. He gets blushing on seeing some bad things on road. Easily get angered, easily get feared, easily get grief, easily upsetted. And the beautiful symptom that he get flushes from excitement. On mild excitement also, he gets some hot flushes in the body. So when we really get into the depth of the case for a phosphorus person, internally he feels that he is an alone person. He definitely says that when you get some sufficient bridge without going for that minute rubrics or getting only parts to fit something into this person, when you get at the real depth or in the dreams, you will get the idea of that these people internally they are very alone people, and all this love, care, affection which they are showing to other people is just to escape from that loneliness feeling. They want to escape from that loneliness. And in this sensitive part, when we see ailments from grief, ailments from excitement, ailments from disappointment, ailments from friendship, deceived, like that, like these things, just all these ailments from the mild changes are fear of thunderstorms, fear of darkness, so many rubrics. When you see all these rubrics, you get astonished that phosphorus is coming in each and every rubric of it. Such is the sensitive part in them. So phosphorus is one of the component of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So all the chemical reactions in the human organism are carried with this ATP. Such is the energy part of the phosphorus. It always deals with some energy or exhaustion, the failure part, completely drained. That is we see in fevers. When we see phosphorus fevers or acid phos fevers, exactly, we will get more picture of this failure part of the phosphorus. Weak, exhaustion, drained, drawn the legs, drawing pains in the legs. Opposite of what we say in phosphorus, the energy, the enthusiasm, the blushing, the excitement, all these are in the success part of phosphorus. Usually we get the failure part in the fevers, or we can say when the fulfillment of this is not done, then we may see the functional part of the phosphorus. The sensation part of the phosphorus. The weak part, the exhaustion part, couldn't rise from the bed. Complete wreck, weakness of back, cannot lift himself from the bed, sliding in the bed. So much is the exhaustion. All the opposite state. So that is the idea for the phosphorus. These are the so sensitive people, and sensitivity is very high. But one more thing is that all this sensitivity will be generally shown to only those people whom he loves much. It is not such sympathy like carcinosin that they are empathetic to each and everyone around the environment. These are not such people. Yes, own group, definitely. But that group means whom he loves, whom he cares, by whom he will be recognized. By whom he will be recognized. So this is the situational materia medica is usually, as we already said, about the child who does not get some affection by the parents. And this person, this child, want to move out of the house, want to make a lot of friends, go outside to fulfill what the love or care or affection he did not get in the house. And these people are very superficial in their relationships with all these friends, etc. This relationship does not going into such a deep relationship. So they are very emotional people, very love, care, affection people, very sympathetic people. There are so abundant ideas in them. They are very industrious, very active memory. They remember all these things. They remember anniversaries. They remember birthdays. They wish each and every person. So in WhatsApp groups, these are the persons who remember all the persons' birthday dates. He is the first person to wish other person. but at the same time, they are a little bit careful. Persons, very anxious persons, very fearful persons, very restless persons. One of the beautiful rubrics, sir says, Srikanth sir, that I think some delusion on an island. I think, if I am not wrong, island delusion. They are on an island. So that is the subconscious part actually, where the person, the phosphorus person, feels that he is completely isolated, alone internally. And all this activity, all these things are nothing but to compensate that loneliness. Yes, delusion on a distant island. Very good. So the entire idea for this part is to get into such a thing, to such a conversation, such an atmosphere, such a company, such a friends, to get rid of this loneliness, because that loneliness suffocates him. That loneliness claustrophobic him. That is the tubercular part. He could not be lonely. He fears to be alone even. And this fear for this phosphorus persons is like, they feel extremely claustrophobic. They want to move, they want to diffuse, they want to hold out, they want to go to something so that they get better. That is the tubercular miasm, and the high energy also denotes the tubercular miasm. And one of the finest features is that emaciation part. The emaciation, the weakness, the tuberculosis diathesis. Phosphorus people are the people who are prone to tuberculosis. Some nitric acid people also may be sympathetic, but there are more of other things in nitric acid. They are very selfish people. The stigma for nitric acid, when they get any scar from anything happened in the life, that will not live in the entire life unless he received nitric acid. So that one of the chief symptoms of nitric acid, that they unmoved towards apologies. Such is the stigma, scar for them by this type of bad moments or bad incidents happened in his life. The stigma will never go away. They are unmoved by the apology. Although they are sympathetic people, but at the same time, this sympathy is not at all in par. It is 100% selfishness sympathy. And we do not see all this type of sensitivity, etc. in nitric acid. That is also one more thing. So this is about the phosphorus understanding. But if we have some people in a salt, how would we differentiate these things in a salt? If it is an elemental phosphorus, it is very easy to recognize about these people. They are very, very energetic. They laugh with the physician also. One of the beautiful patients I remember in my entire career is with me when I sat with my teacher, Mr. EVM Acharya. So I usually found one of the beautiful phosphorus patients, and he is the person who just came into the consulting room. I think he is some teacher, some botany teacher or something. I don't remember exactly. But whenever he comes to clinic, and whenever my teacher has some a little bit pressures in his hectic life, he used to identify that part. He used to say, Mr. Acharya, are you sad today? You are appearing some, ఏంటి మాస్టర్ ఇవాళ కొంచెం నీరసంగా ఉంది మీ మొహం. Such is the sympathetic way of Phosphorus. Such is the beauty, and I think his BP also got down or get better with Phosphorus. Got better with Phosphorus. I think that person has some cholesterol. I don't remember. I didn't remember exactly the pathology factor in the case, but he is improved dramatically. And my teacher prescribed Phosphorus on this basis only. So whenever this person comes, this is the first case I saw in my entire career. He used to greet, Mr. Acharya, how are you today? How was day going with you? Or, you are seeing a little bit weak today. Is there any problem? He is the patient. He is asking doctor, are you weak today? Are you having your health okay? So such is the Phosphorus person. Such are the Phosphorus personalities. And Mr. Acharya didn't do any classes to me or conducted any Skype sessions for me. So when I asked, what's the point you observed and prescribed Phosphorus to this person, he simply smiled and said, observe, study. These are the 2 points he used to say, observe and study. No Skype classes, no Skype sessions, nothing. And whenever after finding these things, and when we report him back, his face used to blush like you are right. Yes. Sir, I found that at every point in the consultation, he is greeting you. Means he is sympathetic. Means he is enthusiastic. Means he is energetic. He likes to be cared. He likes to be recognized. For this, he is showing all this on other people. That's why you prescribed Phosphorus. That I found this in this case, sir. Yes, right. That is the only, he used to nod his head. Animated. Definitely they are animated. No doubt about it. Phosphorus people are animated persons. They like to be animated and they are animated. Out of 10 members if there are some picnic is going on, Phosphorus is usually the person who knows each and every person, who calls each and every person. Even they remember the phone numbers in this busy world also. That is the beauty part. That is the memory. So much care. But all this is only the superficial. All you people are telling superficial. But what the superficial means clearly is, it is only to those, it is not superficial. It is definitely deep. But the superficial means that it is only towards those people who they feel they are recognized. If at any point they feel that I am not recognized by this X person, and all these things will be diluted. That is what exactly the superficial meaning. Superficial means he dilutes all his sympatheticness or all his love, care, affection to that people when he feels that he is not recognized by these people. If I call him on his birthday, he must do that to me. He must care me that, and he does not want any other thing. He just wants that love. He just wants that simple care love. Just wants that simple message or in WhatsApp, simple reciprocation. If he does not get this, then he will not hesitate to break that relationship, and all the sympatheticness will be gone. That is the idea of superficial. It is not superficial if the other person shows the same attitude with Phosphorus. Never think that. Phosphorus will be 100% with those people when he feels that the other person is recognizing him. He does not make it superficial. Superficial in term means what I got in the cases, because they feel unreciprocated, or they simply wind up that relationship if they feel that they are not getting that love, care, affection from the other persons whom they are showing love, care, affection. That is the idea of superficial. Please fix it in mind. So phosphorus we are dealing with, and phosphorus is one of the important, as I said, in ATP. So and also in the also in the lipids, amino acids, mitochondria. So these are the wherever there must be diffusion in the organism, there we usually see the phosphorus element. It is the powerhouse, most important source of the energy in the entire human body. It diffuses even the experience. That's what I am telling now. That experience of phosphorus in a salt. When you see the experience, when we hunt for that experience in a salt, if it is a phosphorus salt, the experience will be diffusion. They will move out. They will go out. That is the diffusion part. That is the move out part. If it is a salt, at the experience. If it is silica and if it is carbon, what is the experience?
Cold, sweating, collapse.
Very good. Cold, sweating, collapse, weakness. Yes, exactly. Beautiful, Seshu. Well done. So this is the idea for carbon. And for the silica, it is a little bit of tense, anxiety, perspiration. Not at all complete blackout like carbon, but a little bit like this. And when we move to phosphorus, it is not they feel cold. They not at all feel collapse. They not at all feel shivering. In fact, there will be hot flashes. But the experience is diffuse, move out, come out, run out. So there is a huge amount of burning inside for phosphorus. There are burning in that's the part also. Really in the psyche also the same thing. They are burning a lot because internally they feel alone. All this external makeup is just to get rid of that aloneness, that loneliness part. There is very high metabolism. We already gone with that because of that emaciation part. There is huge metabolism going on. There are fears, suffering of fear disease, of fear incurable disease, of fear thunderstorms, of so many fears. There is a huge metabolism running in the phosphorus. And when we see that upper part, that nitrogen, phosphorus, because nitrogen, these are the people, we already gone through that second row. The nitrogen people are from second row. These people are more naive and the very scared feeling, very scared, very claustrophobic, fear of tunnels, something encroaching them, couldn't breathe. So all the nitrogens, as the argentum nitricum, nitric acid, all these nitrogen, ammonia, ammonium carb. So all these people have lot of this dyspnea, lot of this suffocation, lot of air breathing. And whenever there is nitrogen, we usually see all this, that fear, the suffocation, the scariness, the sickness they get. And when it is in the phosphorus, it is the idea is that not being loud. That is the part which really scares them. The fears them. or suffocates them. It is not the second row issue, it is third row issue. The image, the identity, the relationships, the love, care, affection, that really suffocates him. That really makes him sick. Whereas the nitrogen, it is not at all something. It is just that naive personality. For even some minute causes, structure not at all developed. Even for minute modalities, getting down from stairs, they will feel vertigo. Getting into lift, vertigo. నెవర్ నా జీవితంలో నేను ఎప్పుడూ లిఫ్ట్ ఎక్కలేదండి అంది ఒక ఆవిడ. సో దీస్ పీపుల్ అంటే డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఇన్ దెమ్, nitrogen people, unless they come from they belong to other in their salts or in the compounds, then the other part will come. But if it is basic nitrogen element itself, then we not at all see any substance in them. Always the issue is cariness, always the issue is fear that haunt him if it is elemental nitrogen. So phosphorus are like young adolescent personalities. These are the young adolescent personalities who has so many friends. Facebook 2000, Instagram 5000. Like these are the persons who have that permeation in them. But really no one is close to them. They feel like that. They have friends, but internally they are alone. No one is there for them. The idea, so the superficial relationship comes because he feels that the delusion part. He feels like that I am alone. So he feels that the relationship is superficial. And one more thing, there will be so many people who really love these phosphorus people. But the phosphorus person thinks that I am not loved. There is so much enjoyment in them for these phosphorus people. Life is enjoyment. So, and even the dreams are also with the friends only. So many friend dreams. So these people always speaks of group chahiye, friends group. These are the people who have in WhatsApp. One of my friend said that he has 100 groups. You know that? About 100 groups he has. Friend groups. Such are these people. They have so many groups. And he asked, I have only 5 or 6 groups. Yes, even group wants him, but he has the delusion that he is not wanted. Whereas when you move towards the lower, that aram, indake evaru chepparu, aram, cuprum, such people, the metals with strong boundaries, these are the people that I lead the group, and because group is known because of me. That is the idea for the metals with strong boundaries, the aram, the cuprum, the ferrum. These are the metals where the entire idea is group is known because of me. I am there for the group. But you see these amorphous salts, these are the powdery salts, the natrum, the magnesium, the phosphorus, sulfur, these are salts. And these are the things by birth they are found in compounds. So they need that group. They want that group. The survival is by group. And that is the beauty of the fast. This is the most reactive, Sir Jeptar Sekhar sir, the most reactive remedy in the entire Materia Medica is fast. And is alchemic metals, that all the metals with boundaries. So all the failure part will come when they get neglected. That is the failure part for all these alchemic metals. So many ideas in phosphorus, that already we said, that is along with Rubiaceae understanding, etc. There are so many ideas for these people. So this is the phosphorus, and in phosphates or with salts, usually you see the diffusion part, moving part, permeating part, going out part. These are the things we see in the experience level when we found phosphorus as a salt. So this is the idea of phosphorus. So if any doubts, we will continue in the next session. It completes with sulfur. So it's almost 10. So we complete our session today. Thank you. Thank you all. Subharatri.